night. So it's funny because people be like, "Why are you on so late?" It's just when the creativity kicks in and whatnot. But I have to laugh, and it's unique when you come across somebody's profile, and this is just utilizing going in and Facebook dating. So if you haven't seen it before, Facebook's got a dating aspect on it. It's funny though because there was somebody on there that had brought up the fact that if you are easily offended, you won't match, we won't mix well together. And I had asked the individual, I was like, so what makes somebody offended? What is that piece that they are offended, however you view offended as? And that laugh, they're like, haha, that'd be a little too deep. I can't really get into it. And then they disappeared. And I was like, okay, so are we just putting stuff on a profile just to fill it up and make it look good or sound good? And one of those things that it's funny. Just it is funny when you really think about it and whatnot. When people just put stuff on a profile because they're trying to go with the times, and it's like, and then not even having a discussion, just disappearing. Like, what is this? Like, this is nuts. But I have to laugh because started a new challenge. It's Your Message Matters challenge, and this is Pete Vargas is the one that put this together. He also was the one that had ran the Rise Up challenge, which he put together last year when things really started hitting the fan with COVID, things shut down, and helping individuals pivot. And so, talking about the pivot piece, want to, of course, give a shout out to the sponsors that we have, that being Kabbalah Food for Thought with Jasper Axelrad. You already know Jasper is one of those individuals that lights up a room. Her energy is huge, and she can really light things up and whatnot. And a lot of people speak highly about what she does. And then, of course, Rock City Cafe. We've got Derek, Angel, and Brittany with what they do with that community spot. And then you have Miss Sherry with Hoop, and her passion and her drive really to just be a fixture in the community. And tomorrow we're actually meeting up with her. Mandy Penn will be shooting some pictures for Miss Sherry for the chicken coop. We do some videos with Miss Sherry, and just excited for that. But it is unique because when I look, it's like, man, like people are things are lining up, and the drive that they have for the community is a beautiful thing. And so it is just the alignment piece. But when you look at yourself, are you continually growing? Because if you're not growing, you're dying. So there's only two options: you're either growing or you're dying. And a lot of individuals will end up going about to stop growing. You'll hear a lot of people that will say people stop learning, stop growing at the age of 25. So people will die twice: age of 25, and then when they physically leave this earth, that's the second time they die. So it's kind of unique. But Danielle McCarthy, great friend of mine, had shared some great information, and I had shared her live that she had done on the Two Native Sons Facebook page. She was discussing some great information for local restaurants, bars, gyms, rec centers, a couple other facilities that she had highlighted. But there is a grant that people can, those individuals that are in those industries can go apply for. And so if you'd like more information on that, go check out the Two Native Sons Facebook page. That video that done is there. And then also within the comments of that video is the link to get more information for the lady that had presented and talked about this at 1 Million Cups last Wednesday. And so if you're looking, it's another avenue. And if you know somebody that's hurting that could benefit from that program, go check out the video, go tag them, share with them. The more information we can get out, the better off it is for individuals. And then tonight's for homework, it was having to talk about our why, what bucket we're in when it comes to your business. And Pete had broken that down as SMS with what bucket you fall in, and then the problem or the pivot that you're looking at taking in the next 7 days during the challenge. And so if you are looking to fine tune and kind of help with your presentation piece and to connect with your audience, with your story, with your message, I highly suggest go and check out the challenge. It's a free challenge, 7 days. Starts at 2 p.m. Colorado time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So it is something that if you're looking to fine tune, because one of the individuals part of that challenge is Pat Quinn, and he actually has worked with major influencers, major speakers in regards to helping them fine tune their presentation, fine tune the message that they share. And I know the one individual, because it was Daymond John, was one individual that Pat Quinn had talked about with providing training. And so to hear what Pat Quinn has done for Daymond John in regards to enhancing his message, and then Pete Vargas is talking about just watching Daymond take notes while Pat Quinn is talking. It is one of those huge things, and I think tomorrow, and I've talked about this before, but Pat Quinn will be sharing the StoryBraid method. And so it is one of those things that if you're looking to enhance your message skill, to get out your message, to connect with people, I highly suggest to go sign up for the challenge. Like I said, it's free. They do offer backstage, which allows you to have more intimate, inclusive training with the speakers and whatnot, but you don't have to pay to sign up for the challenge. And it's unique because one thing that Pat Flynn had talked about when it comes to connecting with the audience is speaking in the language of your audience members. And he brought up the fact, he's like, what happens a lot of times is, as experts, we get to this level and we start speaking this language that can go over people's heads. And you want to get back to that point of where you were to start your journey. What was that language? What were you solving? What were you working on building to create a solution, whatever it is? And it is unique when you really think about it, because as you're going through different iterations of your journey, when you're going through that piece to go to the destination, which you want to focus on the journey. You want to focus on that journey that you're taking, which a lot of people end up overlooking the journey and they're looking at the destination, and you're missing out by focusing on the destination. You're missing out on really being able to grab and look at the growth that you're taking, to look at the growth that's taking place in your life and what's happening, because the journey is all about that growth process. It's all about the growth and progression. But people are so quick to just focus on the destination that they miss out on the bigger picture, that being the journey, whatever it is. And so it is unique because I've gone through a couple different things, and Pete Vargas and Pat Quinn have been part of it. But it is one of those things that you've got to hear it a couple times. And I've heard Pat talk about the fact of speaking in the language of your person or the audience that you want to work with and whatnot. And it is one of those unique things, because I had done our homework. So if you want to go watch that video I did, you can go check out the group. It's a public group and whatnot. You can go see that video. But I have to laugh because it's one of those things that if I just do something unscripted, it comes very naturally for whatever reason. But then trying to fine tune this video, this live, to meet the standards, it took me about 15 minutes to hit the go live button. So it's something that I do all the time. You already know I do a lot of lives and whatnot, but those are very unscripted, and it's just going with the flow. But it is one of those things because that video had to be 2 minutes or less, and it is a fact of trying to get everything in that criteria that they're looking at with the videos and whatnot. So I think I did like 221. So they do give prizes away within the group, but the homework is just another way to fine tune and whatnot. And it is one of those unique things because I brought back that we've all gone through some shit. We've all gone through a storm, and it depends on how you view that storm. It depends on how you're looking at all the shit that's piling up. And when you're going through that storm, you're probably have some story that you're telling yourself. And each of us are unique in regards to the story that we're telling ourselves, because going through the storm, a lot of times we're so focused on the negative piece that for me, I went through my divorce. The piece that I kept telling myself was, I'm not worthy. And that can be very detrimental to an individual because it just builds and builds and builds. And then over time, you start believing it. And if you don't go in there to break that negative loop, it can be very destructive. It can really set you up to fall down hard. But the thing is that is an opportunity that your setback does help you to create your comeback, whatever that is. And so it is one of those things that negative that you're telling yourself. Everybody's got some sort of story that they are speaking to themselves, and then it gets hard because if you are so prideful and you can't get out of your own way and you're letting the ego grow and really sit there in front of you, and you've got the wall that has been brought up because your ego has built that wall, it's not going to be easy to get through that. And so that's why it's important to find your tribe, find those individuals that you can lean into and you trust to help you get through the shit, whatever it is. But it does go to the fact that that's part of your hero's journey. This is part of your journey. And so you've got to go through this journey. You've got to go down whatever it is and then come back. You're going to be battered. You're going to be bruised. You're going to be bloody. But if you come back, you're changed. You've done and you've gone through your hero's journey. But if you go and you come back the same person that you were leaving, it's not a good thing. And so it can be tough because challenges, honestly, if you look at yourself in the mirror, how many of you honestly are going to be like, whoop-de-doo, here's a challenge, let me go run towards it and embrace it. For me, it did take a lot of work. It did take the fact of looking at it differently to take this into consideration that the challenges are necessary. It's part of the growth and the progression piece for you as an individual. And it is a unique way to look at it because you have so many people that sometimes will look at the challenge and try to run away from it and will try to find some way to shortcut it. But you've got to really go and face and embrace the challenge if you want the full growth and you want the full progression. You've got to go and embrace it. And it is one of those crazy things that you're like, you're telling me to go embrace the challenge. Yeah, go embrace it because that's the only way you're going to grow. That's the only way that progression is going to occur in your life is by going and doing that. But to have that different outlook, it does take the work. You've got to work on your mindset. You've got to work on the internal piece. And it's all you. You've got to go do the work. So I would say right now, where are you at? Are you at the point where you can really go and embrace those challenges and thank them, grateful for them? But you're like, why would I be grateful for the challenges? It's all about your perspective. It's all about how you look at it. Or are you on the other side and you're looking at that challenge and you're trying to find some way to run away from it, you're trying to find some way to shortcut it, and you're not doing you're actually doing a disservice to yourself. And like I said, you're probably listening, you're like, this is nuts. Like, he's telling me that if I don't go and confront this challenge, that I'm doing a disservice to myself. Yes, you are doing a disservice to yourself because you're missing out on those opportunities for growth and progression. But it does come into play of how are you viewing it. You've got to adjust your view. You've got to adjust how you're looking at it. And so we all have a message, and the unique thing is that through the struggle, through the shit, the storms that you're dealing with and you've gone through, inside those struggles is your gift, and your gift is your message that's meant to be shared. So what is your message? What is the purpose of your message? Who are you looking to impact? What individual do you want to go and help them progress and have that 1 degree change, whatever it is? Who is that person? What is your message? What is the big message for you that you need to go and bring to the forefront and share? And don't be scared, because ultimately, if you're getting scared, you've got the spotlight on yourself. And if you're putting the spotlight on yourself, you're missing out on a great opportunity to really go and change the lives of others, to go and impact the world, because the gift that's meant to be shared is a beautiful thing. And like I talked about it last night on the podcast, that your voice, your story that you have becomes so much bigger than you when people resonate with it, when it does impact others, and it becomes bigger than any of us. And so it is a beautiful thing. But that's where the story that I have, the message is the challenges that you're facing. What transitional period, what struggle have you come across that has really projected you to get to that next level, that has created that pivot for you to go to the point that you're meant to go to, whatever that is? But it also goes in the play of when you look at that situation, what story are you telling yourself? What thoughts do you have? And so you've got to go and adjust those thoughts. You got to adjust what you're telling yourself. You've got to adjust that story. And so that is where you go and work on your biggest relationship, that being with yourself. You've got to fix that. You've got to work on that, because if you don't embrace the story that you have, you're missing out. And so it does go into the point where you've got to work on yourself. You've got to accept yourself for who you are. You've got to accept yourself for the flaws that you've had, the mistakes that have occurred, the failures that have taken place, because all of that has led to the growth for you as an individual. And then once you can truly love yourself, you can go out there and really show up big, play big, and go love people as they're meant to be loved. And you can go and create that space for individuals and really embrace people and create a space of non-judgment for people. Because if you don't love yourself, how is it going to allow you to look at somebody else and not judge them? And it could be one of those things that you're looking, you're like, how do I love myself? And that's where you've got to go do the work. You've got to go do the deep dive and really truly find out why you love yourself for who you are, and why you like yourself for who you are. And man, it's the work. It really is the work, but it also is getting away from your ego and asking for help, finding your tribe, finding those individuals that see more in you, and letting down the barriers, pulling down the walls, and being transparent and vulnerable with people. And that's not easy. I understand it's not easy. Going through my situation and letting people know, yeah, I thought I was a failure. I thought I was a jackass. I just didn't truly know who I was. I didn't love myself. And so, of course, if I don't love myself, it's going to be hard for me to go out there and really embrace others. And it's also going to be very difficult to show up and play big because I had that story that was constantly playing in my mind of I wasn't worthy. And because of that negative story and saying I wasn't worthy, why would I show up and play big? Why would I show up and be my true, authentic self so people can be okay to know that they can show up and be their true, authentic self? And it is one of those things that I brought this up yesterday. There are people that will say they are showing up as their true, authentic self, but honestly, they aren't. There's a lot of people that will put up a front and try to give the lip service of I'm showing up as my true, authentic self, but there are things that they're still not accepting. There are things that they're not embracing about themselves, and you can just tell. And so it is one of those things that it is the energy, it's the vibration that people pick up on. And so you can lie to yourself all day. You can say, I accept myself for everything, but your body, your energy puts off something different than what you're saying. And it is one of those things that you got to do the work. So if you have any questions, if you're like, man, how do I get to that point? I'm at this level that I don't know how to move. I don't know how to get to that next level. I don't know what to do. Reach out. Let's sit down and talk. Let's just have a discussion and see what it is. See what route to take. Because like I said, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And so if I don't fit with you or we don't fit together, I still know individuals that I trust, that are coaches, that are in this space of really having that heart and that care and that outlook for other people. And really, truly, they've done the work on themselves. We're all still doing the work. This thing that coaches are like, I don't need to grow anymore. I'm not doing the work. That's a lie. You're either growing or you're dying. And so if you're not going out there and being a continual student, you're dying. And so that's the thing. You've just got to find those individuals that can be there for you. You trust them. You have that partnership that you feel comfortable with to go and express and show up and be vulnerable. Because honestly, if you want the growth to take place, you got to be vulnerable. You got to be transparent. And it's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy because too many people have gone through and tried to be vulnerable and transparent, but they've been judged. And then what you get is individuals will take that judgment piece that they've had from a past experience and they start bleeding that shit into everything else. And so you may truly have that person that is the authentic person that's showing up and giving you space, but because you are allowing that experience to jade you and allowing that to bleed into everything else, and you're judging every situation based on the old experience, you're missing out. So you got to understand every experience is different. Every situation is going to be different. And so you can't grow if you're not bringing down the walls. So if you guys have anything, reach out, send me a message. You can send Patrick a message. And he's very big on the passion and really helping people succeed. There's been other individuals that have commented on the different videos, so you can go check and reach out to those individuals. But honestly, you've got to understand that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Les Brown has stated that if you want to stay strong, sometimes you have to ask for help. And that can be one of those things that your ego is going to get in the way and try to hold you back, because our society is telling us that if you ask for help, you're weak. And so if you believe you're weak, you're not going to do it because you're scared about being judged. And so you've got to get over that. You got to punch the ego in the face and tell it to sit down and reach out and ask. That's the only way you're going to really get to where you want to go. So again, just something small, excited for this challenge. Like I said, if you're looking to fine tune your message and share that with other people, go check out this challenge. It's your message matters, the challenge. Go check it out. It's on Facebook. Like I said, it's free to sign up. You can go jump in the group and really work on your message that somebody else needs to hear. And you just don't know who that is. But you've got to get out of your way. You got to quit being selfish and take the spotlight off of yourself and put it on other people. So other than that, love you guys. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for your time. Honestly, thank you for you being you. Thank you for just being such a awesome individual and somebody that, if you're checking this out, you're somebody that is looking to grow. And so thank you for that, of course. Thank you just for being you and showing up and being yourself. So other than that, I'll catch you guys later. I know other than that, it's all the time now. But again, thank you guys for your supports. I love you guys. Have a great night. Catch you later. Peace out.